All right, so it is June 26th on the anniversary of the Battle of Little Bighorn. We are at Crazy Horse Memorial, and they twice a year they light it up with fire and lasers. So they take a donation of 3 cans of food for each person to get in, and we're just head to the bus so we can get a ride up there. And I guess the show starts about 10. It's 9 o'clock now, so just in time. The program is called Night Blast, and they also do it in September as well. So Crazy Horse was a Native American leader of the Ogallala Lakota tribe, and he's a war leader, and he fought in several battles, but one of the most famous is the Battle of Little Bighorn, also known as Custer's Last Stand, where he fought with Chief Sitting Bull, and they wiped out the American troops underneath Custer. But it was in the name of protecting their native lands from the white settlers.
The Crazy Horse Memorial is being carved on Thunderhead Mountain, on land considered sacred by some of the Ogallala Lakota people. It is completely funded by donations and is run by a non-profit organization. When complete, the sculpture will be 563 feet tall and 641 feet long. The arm itself will be less than 30 yards short of a full football field. The history of the monument goes back to 1931. Henry Standing Bear, an Ogallala Lakota chief, and his brother campaigned to have Gutzon Borglum include the bust of Crazy Horse alongside that of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln on Mount Rushmore. With no reply from Borglum, Henry Standing Bear turned to Korczak Żołkowski, who had worked for a time on Mount Rushmore with Borglum, to sculpt a separate memorial dedicated to Crazy Horse. After being granted a permit for the land and finding wealthy Americans to donate initial funds, work on the mountain began in 1948. After Korczak's death in 1982, his wife, Ruth, took over work on the mountain. Today, their children still carry on the work of their parents. The Night Blast happens twice a year. The first, on June 26th, commemorates Ruth Żołkowski's birthday and the anniversary of the Battle of the Little Bighorn. The second blast is on September 6th, honoring the dual anniversaries of the death of Crazy Horse and the birth of Korczak. In the past, they did actual dynamite blasts, but the work is so close to the final surface level that they are no longer using dynamite on the arm, so ceremonial blasts are used currently. Today is Exploring Day, my favorite day, and so we're out here in Custer State Park on the Needles Highway, and so you kind of get to drive right through these. Let me flip the camera around and show you. So you get to come up here, drive through these. Like this road takes you right through the middle of one lane stuff, and you come up here and you're right in the middle of the rocks. And it's great. Here's something called the Needle's Eye. Looks like we run a huge thread through. But then yeah, so we're just right here. Go climbing up there, and the highway literally just runs
Since I'm running a mile up, I'm gonna get winded. 1 lane road through there, off this way. You got the view. This is just the first of many gorgeous stops like this. All right, continuing exploration day, we are doing the 1880 train ride from Hill City, South Dakota to Keystone, South Dakota. It's a steam engine train that takes you through the Black Hills and lets you kind of experience it in the old-fashioned way. So really looking forward to this, and let's get going. This is the train station, and over there is a railroad museum. Of course, you gotta have the place to fill up the water for the boiler. This says a counterweight. I don't know if you were able to see it. That counterweight is on that. It's easy just to move it with his hand. Put a little special fluid in there. So that secret sauce they put in helps with hard water. They also have a problem with foaming, so it might have a little defoaming agent. This train can run backwards, like modern engines. It runs just as well backwards as forwards. So on the trip back up, it's actually going to couple here on what you would consider the front and pull the train that direction. Because the train goes forward and backwards without turning around, these seats also go forward and backwards. A little history about this train. It was started in 1957 by a guy named William Heckman. He started it because he was upset that there were no trains for young train lovers. And so he wanted a train to be like the 1880s, and the name just stuck. So ever since 1957, this 1880 train has been rolling through the area. We're in the Black Hills Forest, and this line that we're riding used to service miners, and so people would come here and stake a claim, and they had to work the mine for so long, but they would put their settlements near the train tracks so they'd have easy access to it. And so some of these, even though we're in a Black Hills Forest National Park, they still have private property in here because of that. So here's some of those claims right up next to the train tracks. Now these are handed down hereditary. over the years, which is why they're still here. A lot of them have been abandoned, but it's the only way you can have property, and this part is a hereditary tract. They said a lot of lithium was mined in this area, which they used in nuclear plants. Now, I'm no dendrologist, but the Black Hills get their name from the ponderosa pine. Has flat needles and is dark on the bottom. So I can't tell you which one those are, but the flat needles absorb light. Maybe that one right there. And so it gives the hills a black color. So there's Black Hill Peak way up there, and at the top, if I'll zoom in and focus again, that's a stone fire lookout that was built a long time ago. It's since been abandoned, but from up there you can see 5 different states, North Dakota, South Dakota, and ones that I can't remember. The only way to get up there now is to hike up there. Okay, so we have about 3 hours to kill between our next train ride. So we're going to hit the Rushmore Tramway Adventures. There are 5 things to do. You got zip line, you got zip line tour, you got a free fall jump, you got a slide, and the adventure park, which is up there. We don't have time for all that, so we're doing a pack called 2 slides and 1 zip line. And the zip line goes right down there. All right, there's no way I'm going to be able to record the zip line, but I've got the harness on, looking fancy with my shirt. So we get to take a chairlift up to the slide, which is going on over there. There's that adventure in the sky, I'm making up the name of it. Oh, right up there. Woo. Basically relying on yourself to stay clipped in or fall to your doom. All right, so there we go. Going to race Zarina over there. Well, there's no racing, but here we go! Oh, okay. I gotta put this away so I can concentrate. Never mind. Dips ahead. Woo! Hang on! 1, 2! All right, slow. They don't want you flying into that net, right? Made it. So this is what happens when you want to race and you can't handle the speed. I was going to record myself face first coming down on that second run, but Wendy wanted to race me, and we took it to the extreme. I caught air, but she caught wall. So, oh well, it's a good story, right?
Yeah. Still better racer than he is. Prove it tomorrow.
Well, we've reached the end of part 4. Please click the thumbs up button below if you enjoyed this video. Next time is the final part of the South Dakota vlog, where I lose my drone in a cloud, we visit another adventure park and cave, and I live out my dream of being your tour guide as we take a look around Mount Rushmore. Click the subscribe button below so you get notified when that video goes up. And until next time, I'm doing what I love, keep doing what you love. Thanks for watching.